You just heard 3 selections from Richard Strauss's Don Juan tone poem. This is such a fun piece to play, and I hope you get the chance someday. So much energy and vitality in this piece of music, and this kind of programmatic or very descriptive character that is being portrayed here is a lot of fun to try to communicate to the audience. In the first section, I like to think about how I used to listen to Mr. Herseth on recordings and the type of power and command that he had at the beginning of this. And I think of a lot of energy, immediacy to the sound, and I don't want to say sustain, but a consistent color and a consistent energy on every note. So to make sure we don't have a big change from that. For example, like, no, there needs to be an exact same energy so that each note sounds like building upon one another. In this first section, this is not as common to be heard in auditions, but not unheard of. I just wanted to speak about it a little bit because it's the way the piece opens, and it's kind of the default of how we want to portray this character and sort of like the introduction of the story that's about to ensue. So obviously think of pitch and think of time, but really most importantly, at least from a musical standpoint, is have that captivating energy and that immediacy of sound. In the second section, we really turn our emotional palette to something completely different, much more sweet, sung from the heart, for at least most of it. And we want to make sure that, again, harmonically, that some of the notes that are half steps away kind of hold the tension to notes that are maybe on the third, like in the opening, noticing the difference between how we play the D sharp versus how we play the G sharp can communicate something. So the G sharp is more of a sweet sound, and the D sharp is more of a tension note. So I lean on the D sharp, and the G sharp kind of sings a little bit more. Halfway through this lyrical section, the character kind of changes, and I want to say it's right around the concert D to F here. Right there, I think the character changes from one of sweet and singing and of love and expression to a little more dramatic. And this is where the ascent of the trumpet player happens. We want to be a little bit careful in audition context that we don't go too loud in this high B. You have to remember that the committee does not have the context of the orchestra. They might have it in their imagination, but what's more important is that you keep your sound and your somewhat control of your product in check. We don't want to go, it says triple forte, and an audition is probably not the place to do that. So I would say a strong fortissimo and making sure that you're well within your great sound. Maybe in the orchestra we can push that a little bit because of context of a hall and 100 people on stage, but in audition I would be a little bit more careful about that. We have a lot of these swells. I would take them with a grain of salt so that we make sure we stay present. When we start this excerpt, we don't dominate. We sort of join in with the string section. So I would adhere to the piano marking and make sure that you emerge from the string section rather than immediately conquer as the trumpet player. And this little last couple notes we have is I think it's a little bit of a check to make sure that the high B is something that doesn't pull you out of your good form of playing. So make sure that good response stays close to you within this excerpt. The third section is a little bit of a finger tangle, and if we listen back to Phil Smith's excerpt CD, I think he says a lot of what we need to hear. You almost need to memorize these. Practice them in different patterns, maybe 4-note patterns, maybe 5-note patterns, maybe different rhythms. So some of the variations could be this. Well, that wasn't the right note, but that's the idea. And try and do different rhythms. So right there, I noticed that one of my fingers is not really doing the faster pattern, the faster note correctly. So I would work that out to make sure that these different rhythms are really good. So I'm playing, in some ways, I'm playing half the excerpt fast and half the excerpt slow when I do these dotted rhythms. And so on and so on. And when we get to letter I, make sure it's really snappy. A little bit of an adherence to the beginning of the first excerpt. And then when we do these little runs, that I would say that there are three different characters. First, we have the fortissimo command and bravura type style, the lyrical, beautiful middle section transitioning to a dramatic operatic ending, and then these little runs, which is a little bit of a scherzando type feel. So make sure that you show a little bit of distinction in each of these in your audition, so that your musicianship comes through in addition to your pitch, time, and sound.